But right now we want to welcome in this guy. He wears, I think, 5 different hats.
At least 5.
He's wearing a Blues one right now, the St. Louis Blues hat right now.
So 6 hats.
Yeah, so that's another one to add. He's the president of the Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League. He's also head coach of the Brooklyn Hurricanes and also the AD there. Ryan Kelber joins us. And, Coach, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
You know, it's that time of year. You guys are underway now in the Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League, and we've been covering you guys for a few years now, and you guys always do a great job. So let's first talk a little bit about the league and if there are any changes in the league and what's going on with it right now.
First off, we want to thank you guys for having us here, and the coaches and any kind of press here for our league is good. Between all the teams and all the players here, anytime we can talk high school hockey here, it's a good thing here. So thanks for having us. The league this year, we're on a 2-year plan, so all the divisions stayed the same this year. And I know some teams got stronger, some may have gotten weaker. But what we wanted to do is create some stability among the league. And by doing that, we had a 2-year plan and said, all right, everybody's going to stay the same. And we had great response to that last year. You know, an example would be even in the Barron Cup, we had 4 straight overtime games from the semifinals and the finals. So competition was great, and it seemed to work out. And so far, so good here in our leagues too, which we started right after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, the league, underway, and you have the early tournaments and everything going on. But like you said, last year there were some teams changing divisions a little bit. You guys kind of get a sense for, number of players obviously on a team, and how do you determine, when a team is going to stay in their divisions or maybe if they should drop down?
And that's the best thing about high school hockey here in Cleveland is, we do listen to opinions and try to make our divisions as competitive for each team as possible. And you have your red division, which is for the more experienced teams that continually get anywhere from 15 to 20 kids. They have good youth programs, good feeder programs. Then you have your white division, which has good rosters. Consistently about 12 to 18 kids there. And then you have your blue division, which is for the smaller schools who maybe could be roaming the hallways even for kids come August and September and all that. But then you also have some kids that played before or they're just starting in high school. So it's a good mix, and we try to match them up, each school, based on numbers and experience. We do the best we can with that, and it's been a good run so far.
And you guys have a great website, too, that you guys have been up to date on. With that, you've also have a media guide and everything out there for people that want information on the league. And what other things would you like to cover about the Greater Cleveland High School Hockey League?
So as of today, we have about 123 league games left to play in the season. A lot of hockey left. Every week we do our Stars of the Week program, and on Wednesdays that gets posted on the website. And coaches can nominate, a player who had a great week during the league. Our Barron Cup tournament, which is our big tournament there, and for a lot of teams that's their state tournament because. Yeah. With hockey in Ohio, there's only one division. So we know that, it's been only a handful of teams that have won that.
Yeah,
so the Barron Cup tournament is a state tournament, and it's divided into 3 divisions, the red, white, and blue. So that's coming up in about 49 days we have, and we have the top 8 teams from each division. Red, white, and blue make that. And as I mentioned earlier, last year's tournament was great. We had only 1 game going to a running clock. We had, I think, 6 overtime games. And at one point we had 4 straight from the semifinals into the first finals game that went into overtime. So we're excited about that. That's always a busy week in February. Yeah. And we also announce our Greater Cleveland All-Star teams. We end up playing an All-Star senior game down at the Q with the Monsters. So a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, and you guys do a great job with the website having stats, standings. And like you said, you post the Stars of the Week. That's also on your Facebook page. They're on Facebook. They're on Twitter. You can follow them there and get all kinds of information and follow the league in general because this high school hockey league, a lot of great players in this league, and the coaches have been around, some new, some old, but, they add a lot to the league, and it's a lot of fun to watch. We did Barron Cup last year, and how exciting
that was a lot of fun, yeah.
Is it every year? You see some upsets here and there throughout the tournament, and it's just an overall fun time. But now let's talk a little bit about your Brooklyn Hurricanes coming off a 22-4 year for the Brooklyn Hurricanes. 12-0 in league play. You're the head coach there. Talk a little bit about what you guys accomplished last year. I mean, that's something that's unbelievable. 22-4 record.
Yeah, it was a special year. We had, I like to say, it was a year of perseverance. The freshmen on the team, their first year, or I'm sorry, the seniors on the team, their freshman year, they went 0-14. So to come back, 3 years later as seniors and win 22 games and we're undefeated in the division, it was a pretty special year and all that. And win the division. We went to semifinals of the Barron Cup, and it was a great year all around. And I think it generated a lot of excitement in Brooklyn too, for the hockey team and all that. And the kids got some good recognition, which they deserved.
One of the things that strikes me is, with building off of that success last year, you got 11 guys coming back. You got 4, and you only lost 6 to graduation. So I mean, you got a pretty stacked team coming in. So I mean, obviously you want to continue that winning. What's one of the things you kind of have to preach on a daily basis to your team? Not to rely on that success, I would imagine, is one of them.
Yeah, I think the guys that came back realized how hard we worked last year. It wasn't just let's start up in November and work. No, we had to work over the off season, knowing that we graduated 6 seniors and majority of them played a lot. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, we had 0 incoming players for this year. We ended up getting 2 brand new skaters, open skaters. Okay. We had come in, so we had to rely on the returners coming back, and they had to have a good off season. A lot of them played soccer or football, so that was a key and all that. But it was an adjustment early on. I think with practices, you can't. It's a big difference having 18 guys at a practice compared to 11 at a practice, and the coaches had to adjust and all that. And after our first couple scrimmages, we had to adjust our game plan too, because there's some guys that we want to keep on the ice as much as possible, and in the blue division you can do that a little bit better. But we are doing a couple different strategies and all that that's allowing our guys to stay on the ice a little bit more.
And can you talk about some of those players that you mentioned want to keep on the ice as much as possible? Who are the kind of leaders on the ice for you that going into at least the league season?
We have our seniors, Matt Crossman, defenseman. And I say defenseman, but he's allowed to carry the puck up as much as possible, and he's very active in that. Sophomore Aaron Ross, another defenseman. Those 2 are pretty much on the ice unless the referee wants to put them in the box. So they'll stay on the ice, and they both have a great offensive ability, and yet they are still responsible in the defensive zone. And then we have our senior Aiden Supek, who stays on the ice most of the time. His brother is a sophomore, Gavin Supek, who's been on a torrid start so far of the year. We have Chad Schneer, Brandon Chiv, Josh Musara, and then we have Regina Ross. We're able to rotate the wingers a lot, but our defense stay on the ice, and our goalie is a sophomore, and he was the backup last year, but he only got into 1 game.
Okay.
So he worked really hard this offseason and all that, and so far so good. He's responded really well to the challenge.
Yeah, I believe you're talking about Jason Edmonds, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he's in league play, he's given up less than a goal per game. He's got over 95% save percentage. I mean, it's fantastic what he's been able to put together. Coach, talk. How have you guys been able to maintain the momentum from last year going into this year? I mean, it's you guys are off to a very, very impressive start. I mean, giving up about 20 goals, scoring around 60. That's insane what you guys are doing right now.
Yeah, I think it's the confidence from last year spilled over a little bit, and it might have been arrogance in the beginning. A couple scrimmages we had, we kind of got humbled a little bit. We went up to BG and played after our BG varsity game and played Anthony Wayne up there, and it was a little one-sided for 2 of the periods, and then we played Normandy here, and that was kind of an even game and all that, but we knew that we couldn't do what we did last year, and the coaches sat down, and we sat down with the leaders of the team and said, hey, we're going to have to adjust to that, and it's gone over pretty well. I mean, we have a big game Thursday against Lakewood. They're undefeated, and last year we had, I think, 2 one-goal games with Lakewood, so we're looking forward to that challenge. Coach Ferfolia there's a legend, I like to call him. He coached when I was playing way back in the late 90s, and it's always a challenge with Lakewood, but the kids bought in and all that, and I think we're staying out of the penalty box too, which is a key. We don't have enough guys to rack up penalty minutes.
Yeah, and right now you're 5-0 on the season, in what's a very competitive league when you look at it. Mayfield's right behind you; they're 3-2. Like you said, Lakewood's undefeated too; they're 3-0 going into this game. But talk about your depth as a team right now. When you look at depth, and if you don't have a ton of depth on your team, how do you kind of separate that a little bit, or how do you get stronger if you don't have the depth, and you don't want to overuse players, I'm sure, but you want to spread them out a little bit.
I think we identified roles for each player on the team. So
Okay.
our 2 defensemen know that their role is to be on the ice as much as possible. And they know that they can't skate it up every single time. They have to preserve some energy. And then some role players maybe who didn't get on the ice as much last year, who are getting more ice time now, they know that maybe their job is just to be sound defensively. And we'll put them out there at certain times, and that's your job to do that. And it's a quick shift, and then they're back out. And then we know who our scorers are and everything else. And I think everybody has to pick each other up and all that. And again, it comes down to each person doing their job in the offensive zone, the neutral zone, and the defensive zone. And we've been able to do that right now. And again, another key has been staying out of the box and being disciplined.
How's your conditioning? You have these players that are going to play defense and stay out on the ice. They have to be in pretty good shape to stay out there and, try not to give them a break. Just stay out there and keep going.
We try to have pretty intense practices, and we practice 3 times a week, and we practice after school on a Monday, and then we practice early in the morning on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And I like to push them hard, and then I noticed that we were kind of dragging here. So the last couple Tuesdays I've given them off.
Yeah.
But they have to work harder on Monday and Wednesday for that. And I think that's been a key. We've done some after school extensive stretching and minor workouts too, which I think has paid off too.
Well, I mean, when you look at your team, I mean, what a great year, and you guys are off, having a great season thus far. And I think it says a lot, with what you've accomplished, so far, trying to get these guys to believe. Because like you said, how easy is it for those players that were, they didn't win a game to come back and to keep coming back? I mean, it's easy just to say, you know what, maybe this isn't going to work out. But, they stuck with it. Now they're reaping the benefits of it right now.
Our star players are being our star players, and the role players who may have only gotten a few shifts last year are getting a lot more shifts now, and they're buying into it, and it's been good so far and all that. But we got a lot of hockey coming up here. Like I said, starts this Thursday with Lakewood, and then we got a competitive tournament, Parma tournament, Martin Luther King weekend, and hopefully everything goes well, and then leading up to the Barron Cup in February.
Guys, any last questions for President Kelber, Coach Kelber, Athletic Director extraordinaire?
I got a question for you. I mean, personally, you're running this league, but you're also running a team. I mean, how is it from
and
your
running
end?
in the athletic department, too.
And the athletic department. Like, you got a lot of hats you're wearing, and you got a Blues hat on right now, but
he might even serve up some ice cream tonight, I think, too.
I'm pretty sure he's got a part-time job here, too.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, how do you personally kind of manage all of this, especially when you're in season like
I like to say good support staff, and it starts at home with the support of wife. That always helps. And then my assistant coaches are great with hockey. I mean, they'll know there may be a practice or two where I can't make it because an athletic director meeting or some event that I need to go to. They'll cover for me, and then even at my school, my principal, assistant principal, and some of our coaches there, they're great. And, it kind of eases my load a little bit, but it wears down in February and all that. But I get a nice little break here around Christmas. And I think being present, because I played hockey in this league and all that, I have an interest in it and all that. And I like to get out and watch games and talk to coaches and all that. So they can come to me with most of their concerns. If not, they can go to Joe Simon, our executive director, who has really helped transform this league into what it is.
Yeah, he's done a great job, and if Joe's listening, we'd like to thank him. He sent us, he creates the media guide. He's really good with organizing the league and keeping us up to date on everything. So he does a great job, and we appreciate coming on our show tonight. We know you're a very busy guy, but appreciate you coming on our show, and good luck this season. I know you have one thing you'd like to mention before you leave here.
Thank you again for inviting me here. Any way we can get more press for high school hockey, I'm always here for that. So, but we are looking for officials for ice hockey. You can become a USA Hockey certified official and join the third team on the ice. We're short on officials here, and so as the league, we're trying to push this brochure here and push for our kids that you can start off, even if you're in high school, just starting off refereeing the little kids right there, and then after high school, you can come back and officiate high school. It's a good paying job, and make your own hours and all that, and it's just another way to stay involved in the game. So
no, that's very cool.
But there's a prerequisite that I was not unaware of. You have to be able to ice skate.
That helps. That definitely helps.
So I'm out, is what I'm trying to say.
Sean would like to be in the
Sounds
stands
like
and
Just
blow
a
the
just a giant bear on
just-
blades is what I'd be.
Sounds like we need to have a staff outing on the ice. See
No,
how this
you
I'll
goes.
tell you
don't.
what, that
No,
would be
you don't.
interesting. I
You will
can't
be
ice it.
short. You will be short one staff member if you do that. Possibly two, because I'll take one of you down with me. I
We'll
don't
do
care.
the All-Star draft on the ice this year.
Okay, well
Oh,
then,
there you go.
There we go.
That would be
I'll run the
fun.
board
Hey.
on in the penalty box, and that's fine with me.
Josh, how do you feel about him running the board?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, thumbs up.
Yeah,
I did not expect that.
I didn't either, actually.
No. I thought you were
Thought
going to
that-
defend your board a little bit more, but that's fine.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, all right. We see where he's
It's
at.
either that or I take him out on
He's
the
gonna
ice.
have He's gonna have Coach Kelber's guys do his dirty work for him. That's what's gonna happen here.
Well,
Give him
Coach,
any ideas.
exactly. Coach Kelber, thanks for coming on our show. We appreciate the time.
Thank you again.
Good luck. Good luck in defending your Blue South title this year.
Thank you.
That's right. That's head coach Ryan Kelber of the Brooklyn Hurricanes here on the program. We'll step away. We'll take a short break. When we come back, the Avon Eagles hockey team is waiting for us in the wings over there. We're sports on tap.
Eagles waiting in the wings.
That's right. You like that?
Jesus.
You like it? Huh? All right. I'm Rob Troutman.
Dynamite.
We're
Nani.
sports on tap. We'll be right back.